Tonight, it was media mayhem and public humiliation when her husband Burt Reynolds filed for divorce last spring. But today, Minnesota's own Loni Anderson is back stronger than ever on primetime television.
I never thought I would be a single working mom again, but it's not a foreign land. I've done it before, and I can do it again.
This is show number 49, Dress Show. This is 9/10/93.
Loni Anderson, the eternally glamorous actress, is back in front of the cameras.
I wish I could be more modest, but then I'd have to throw out my entire wardrobe. Anyway.
The new star of Nurses, who took a 5-year hiatus to focus on her marriage to Burt Reynolds and their adopted son, Quentin, says now she's thrilled to be back at work, especially after Reynolds abruptly and very publicly walked out on their marriage. But far from being sad or depressed about the breakup, Anderson appeared radiant and upbeat when I spoke with her last fall in Hollywood on the set of her new sitcom.
You seem like you're having a great time, Loni.
Yes,
on
I
this set.
am.
This is a good...
It's a wonderful group of people from the management down, and the cast is warm and generous. I must say, I've come into their show after they've been on the air for 2 years.
Now, why Nurses? Was this something that, I mean, did you look at that part and say, boy, I know I could do that, this is where I
Nobody
could
came to
fit?
me, as a matter of fact. They asked me if I would be interested, and at that time I'd been turning down maybe about 2 series a year. After WKRP, I'm spoiled, and the characters are so nice, and nice is kind of boring. And here's an offer of 22 on the air in an established show, plus the kind of character I've been wanting to play, somebody not very nice. And
not boring, right?
Yeah, not boring. She's flawed, and what a nice opportunity for me, with everything that was happening in my life, to come back to half-hour comedy, which is my very favorite.
Loni's life was turned upside down this summer when Reynolds filed for divorce. Overnight, Hollywood's favorite couple became fodder for the tabloids, with every intimate detail of their life together analyzed, criticized, and publicized on newspaper and magazine covers all across the country. In spite of it all, the couple vowed to keep it civil, until Burt went on national television.
I call her cheating on me.
What do you think about the fact that Burt Reynolds has been so public about it and really has kind of waged a campaign against you through the tabloids and through various television shows?
Again, my son is watching, and I really don't have anything to say about that at all.
Loni has continued to maintain her silence about life with Burt Reynolds, a position that has made her even more popular with the public as she faces a court battle over her financial settlement and the custody of her son.
You have a strength, a real inner strength. You seem to have that.
Yes.
And in the face of all this adversity, you seem stronger, Loni.
Yes, well, I think I had a very strong and close family, a very close relationship with my father, who was a very strong man. And even my mother said, both of my parents died in their 50s, so I lost them quite early. And she said, when she was dying, she said, "You're just like your father. You're so strong." So I guess that's a good thing.
You also, it seems to me, have to surround yourself with people that you trust.
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, all my girlfriends from high school called me just recently and said, "We're boating down the St. Croix, and we have this phone on the boat, and we thought about you." And I said, "I'm so jealous. I wish I were there." And they said, "We just wanted to tell you that we love you, and we're thinking of you, and I know that I can go back anytime."
We have called Loni more recently than ever because I think with some of the things that have gone on this summer, she's had a difficult time this summer, and we feel that we want to be supportive.
There was a big ad in the paper. A real estate company had said, "Loni, come on home, we've got a house for you here." And I thought she just loved that when she knew that that was in a Sunday paper.
Diane Horvath and Gail Lasham were Loni's closest childhood friends growing up in St. Paul. They remember Loni as a standout at Alexander Ramsey High School, someone who had what it takes. Loni proved them right, collecting an assortment of local titles, including Miss Roseville, Miss Country Style Ford, Miss Good Grooming, and Miss Tom McCann.
You just knew, though. I mean, if you look at the wedding pictures and you see her, you see that she looks different than everyone else. She holds herself differently. She had a very good direction. She knew what she wanted, and she was going to go for it, and she was going to go at a slow pace.
She was always in modeling schools, always doing different photo shoots, and she was always in the limelight.
Now, where was this take? Oh, this was at the AIDS benefit, wasn't it? The
Yes,
most
it was.
recent?
That was
And
in
what about-
February.
This is my home state, my hometown and everything, so I wanted to be here. And I really think that we're so involved, especially in our industry, with AIDS and helping people with AIDS and making people aware and giving money to it and doing research so we can find some kind of end to it. And so I would go anywhere for that. And this was the perfect place. It's such a beautiful area. The cities are so beautiful. There's a sense of a real family here that I don't think the West Coast has. I actually love the snow. I still love to ice skate, and I visit my daughter in Lake Tahoe and cross-country ski, and I am a snowmobile fanatic.
When you come back to Minnesota, it must give you time to reflect on really what you've accomplished. I mean, starting out at Old Log.
It does, and I was thinking about Chanhassen, where I did Fiddler on the Roof forever with my black hair.
She had a real warmth on stage, and I thought she connected with audiences very well. I just mean that I think she was capable of doing a lot of different kinds of things as opposed to being stereotyped in sort of bimbo role she too often gets to play now, because she's not a bimbo.
Gary Gisselman directed Lonnie in Chanhassen Dinner Theater's original run of Fiddler on the Roof back in 1971, a play that was revived this season for the company's 25th anniversary celebration.
That production of Fiddler has great memories for many of us because the theater was in trouble at the time, and we opened it hoping it would run for 12 weeks. And when it ran for 53 weeks, that was a great surprise and a great boon for all of us, you know, and it was the beginning of the long runs at Chanhassen.
I saw her in plays. First of all, she was obviously tremendously attractive. She had very striking jet black hair, but the thing I remember most is she was totally unspoiled.
Wendell Anderson met Lonnie at a St. Paul department store when they were both young and single. The former Minnesota governor says he was immediately smitten.
Were you surprised when she sort of burst on the scene as a blonde bombshell?
I can't imagine anybody wanting to cover her beautiful brunette hair, but that's somebody else's decision.
But you found her more attractive as a brunette, it sounds.
You could not improve on that.
Baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me.
Lonnie had played blondes on the local Twin Cities theater circuit. But in 1978, when she landed a part in Hollywood as the blonde bombshell on a new sitcom called WKRP, the hair color became permanent, and the rest, as they say, is history.
You got a steno pad?
Johnny,
I'm sorry.
I have a message pad.
Fine.
From the time I was a little girl, this is what I wanted to do.
You just knew that?
I just knew it. I was in every little theater group that ever came along.
But did you think that it was going to result in the kind of stardom that you've had?
No, I just wanted to be an actress. And the celebrity was something I never even thought of having to deal with. I never thought I would be. And so I wasn't prepared when it happened. And I kind of had this false impression that perhaps I could be a celebrity today and then be anonymous tomorrow. And then the next day when I chose to be a celebrity again, I could do that. And that I would have control over it instead of it having control over me. Surprise.
It doesn't work that way, does it?
Doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Is it hard to deal with the celebrity end of it?
Yes, you give up all of your anonymity. I'd say sometimes I think I'll put on a disguise and I'll go somewhere because my daughter would say, oh, let's all go to Disneyland, but we won't take Mom. You know, or let's go here, but let's leave Mom at home. That it hurt me, and yet I understood it. The fact that this is probably the only profession in the world where your family also becomes a celebrity, and they have to put up with it.
Well, you certainly have a gift with this new granddaughter. How did you feel about becoming a grandmother?
I think it's fabulous. My grandmother had gray hair from the time I can remember, and she wore sensible shoes, you know, and a
Smart
house dress.
woman.
And I think that grandmothers, we have to change the face of grandmotherhood.
Well, you
because-
certainly have done that,
yeah,
Lonnie.
Yeah.
Now, the calendar you did with the older women?
Yes, it's 39 and holding, all women over 40. I thought, wouldn't it be fun if there was a calendar of women over 40 who it's a more realistic image for us, and who felt great, looked great, had a good sense of humor about themselves, and then the proceeds would go to AIDS. And I really didn't know what I was getting into, because it's a big undertaking, and it's taken 2 years. We have 12 fabulous women. You have to have a good sense of humor, good sense of self, and
you have to look like you look.
Well,
that's the key.
One part of that. But I thought they should be women in our industry who had longevity, and that people would really identify with.
Has this business changed for women over 40?
Very much.
Do you think it's easier now?
It's still terrible, but it's certainly a lot better than it was. Only 8% of us in our union are working, which is too bad.
Does that worry you?
Yes, it does. I mean, I think it's just going to get better, but our earning potential, our peak years between 20 and 30, are the same earning potential, the same peak years as men between 50 and 60.
There are a lot of young, aspiring Minnesota actresses that are going to be watching this. What advice for them?
Well, you have to be able to take a lot. I mean, you have to love it. If you don't love it, get out now, because there's going to be more heartache than there will be the exhilarating times. And it's a profession in which you're always looking for a job. So you really have to love it, be devoted to it, and know that you're going to have a lot of hard knocks.
I had read that you always wanted to be, was it Snow White?
Snow White, yes. In my heart. Inside this blonde head. There's a little dark-haired girl. Yeah, right.
The little Snow White.
Yeah, ever since I was little.
Do you and you wanted to find Prince Charming, and at one point you thought you had. Do you still believe in the fantasy of that?
Yes. I'm an eternal optimist, and I think bitterness is so unattractive, and so I will keep being an eternal optimist, and I'll come back to Minnesota.
Lonnie's story appears to have a happy ending. People magazine recently reported that she's fallen in love again, this time with a prominent Los Angeles attorney. When we phoned Lonnie to find out if it was true, she confirmed that Snow White may have indeed found the real Prince Charming this time.